This E3 update is brought to you by Netflix.
Hey guys, Max and Tara here for Rev3 Games. It is day 0 of E3 2013, and we just finished watching the Microsoft press conference, which started off with quite a bang. They had a new gameplay trailer for The Phantom Pain.
A little game called Metal Gear Solid 5, which, aside from it being possibly the corniest trailer I've ever seen, they basically showed an entire mission with all of the boring parts sped up, so it was kind of like Benny Hill Snake.
Yeah.
Looks incredible, looks gorgeous.
It does look great. Very different from a lot of the Metal Gear games.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's in Afghanistan. They're running, it's Kaz Miller, or no, it's Ocelot sending Snake to rescue Kaz Miller, and you see some child soldiers, you see some new characters. There's a sniper in a bikini, there's a guy with a skull on his face, a lot of trademark Kojima weirdness. Probably the highlight of this is that you can now, well, ride a horse and drive vehicles, but most importantly, you can hang off the side of the horse to stealth. So stealth equestrianism is a new thing.
Stealth seems like a huge thing here.
I mean, it's Metal Gear, so obviously. But,
of course. So obviously exclusives are one of the big things we were looking out for today. No, it is not an exclusive.
Major Nelson made a little oops and tweeted that out by accident, so oof.
But they did show off Rise, which, as we already knew, was one of the big exclusives here. They sort of touted this as a very Kinect-based game, but on the stage it seemed to be more controller-based. A lot of the combat involved a lot of quick time events.
A lot of stabbing. Like it's definitely an angry stabbing man game.
If you like Roman war, then you might like this game. It's hard to sort of get a feel for it because it seems very different than what they showed off previously.
It's gorgeous, though. Yeah. It's Crytek, so obviously it would be. But
yeah. One of the other exclusives that we already knew about that we saw more of today was Quantum Break also.
Yes, we still don't know anything about it. I'm guessing there's what is it, zero space or something? They freeze.
You freeze time, and then you can go in and like unfreeze certain people from scenes. I thought the most interesting thing about that was the fact that it's going to tie in with a TV show, sort of like Defiance does now. So it remains to be seen exactly how that will affect the game and whatnot, but it looks interesting nonetheless.
Not as interesting as Killer Instinct.
No!
We are getting a new Killer Instinct game. I was really not expecting this to actually happen, but Rare has, I mean, they got picked up by Microsoft ages ago, and they were doing like, Kinect Sports, but now they're back with Killer Instinct. And we got to see Jago and Saberwolf and Glacius, and it looks like a big, dumb, stupid, loud fighting game, so I'm stoked.
Yeah. Of course, Forza is another one that we saw before. They introduced this... Drivatar.
A Drivatar.
Which I guess is an AI thing where it learns how you play the game, so when you're not actually playing, the AI will mimic your patterns, and then it'll accumulate points for you, and other people can race against you. Very interesting idea.
Cruise control.
It's Forza, yeah.
Swery was there, Swery65, the guy who did Deadly Premonition, to talk about D4, which is an episodic mystery something.
It's cel-shaded, so it's got a very interesting art style. It seems like there's sort of a combo-based fighting system in there that may be sort of related to rhythm, or it's hard to tell right now, really.
Yeah, it seems to be the case with a lot of stuff, but it's Swery, so that's bound to be pretty interesting and weird.
Crimson Dragon, which is sort of the spiritual successor to Panzer Dragoon. They showed a little bit of that off. It's going to be another exclusive.
The sound cut out during that, so
who knows
soothing,
what it sounds
game.
like.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Project Spark, which is not one of the huger games that they showed, but still looks interesting nonetheless. This is sort of a build-your-own adventure game thing. Looks sort of like a level editor, I guess, but it's voice-controlled, which I thought was very interesting. And then, of course, one of the big things was a teaser for Halo 5, which I guess we're just calling Halo.
Yeah, and it was like, we probably would have guessed it right immediately if we saw Master Chief, but he was wearing a cloak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So surprise, it's Master Chief. Why is he wearing a cloak? I don't know, probably sand, but it looks like a Jawa.
Titanfall obviously was expected to be a huge reveal here. It looks like a mech game. It's very gray, and one of the cool things about this...
They got jetpacks, and there's mechs. It looks like there could be a lot here. You were pointing out, they said that this was going to be very very accessible to people.
Yeah, well, they said it was supposed to be more accessible, like in terms of multiplayer games, than Call of Duty, because it's got wider open maps, but from the demo they showed, there was a lot going on screen at any given point in time.
There's a point where the guy ejector seated out of the jetpack and then sort of bunny hopped on top of another mech and then tore off a panel and then shot it in the brain guts, and then it blew up, and I was like, all right, video games.
I can get on board with it.
I remember why I like you again.
Yeah. So Sunset Overdrive is, I think, one of the most interesting games that we saw. This looks like what Overstrike was going to be before it became Fuse.
I think what happened, I mean, Ted Price came out on stage, head of Insomniac, and he's like, "Hey guys, you still happy to see me, even though I did Fuse." This game looks like Jet Set Radio and Team Fortress and Saints Row and some vaguely zombie game all had a big baby. There's free running, there's there's riding on sort of lions with a cane, and
you can shoot a gun that runs on energy drinks.
Yeah, you can shoot
and
a gun
that
that
shoots
records.
vinyl records.
Yeah.
It looks so weird
It looks
and fabulous,
very
and
colorful and
yeah,
fun, and
looks
that's
very fun.
what I like. And everything I liked about Overstrike and more so. So
Yeah.
I'm interested.
I love how they were like, indie is such a big thing for us, and they came out and showed one indie game, which was Below by Capybara, which actually people are really excited about. I think it looks pretty interesting.
It's a roguelike, so
yeah, top-down adventure
looks
game.
gorgeous.
Not a whole lot of information about that, but I'm hoping we get more. And then of course they announced the Minecraft Xbox One Edition, which looks a lot like Minecraft on Xbox 360 now, except it's supposed to have bigger maps and better multiplayer, apparently. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. Again, information on that was sort of scarce. And then Dead Rising 3, which I was really excited about, and then I saw the trailer for that, and everything looked brown, and like it lacked a lot know, the personality that Dead Rising 2 had.
I'm sure it probably will have a lot of that thrown in, but it's just,
I hope
you
so.
know.
I feel like they could have shown off a better part of the game.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that it's going to be an Xbox One exclusive. Dead Rising hasn't been an Xbox exclusive since the first one, so I don't know how that's going to affect sales or anything like that, but remains to be seen. So they did promise us a lot of exclusives. We saw 13 of them so far. We also saw some things related to the Xbox 360, like the fact that they're launching a new one, which is available today.
What?
Yes.
Go out and buy one, I guess?
Yeah.
That's sort of
they also announced something that seems very similar to the PlayStation Plus program, which is going to be for 360 from, I think they said July 1st until the release of the Xbox One in November, which is a program where you get 2 free games a month for any Xbox Live Gold member, which is something that I have so wanted Microsoft to do for a really long time. I don't know if this means that they're just going to completely abandon it after the Xbox One comes out, but I'd love to see something like this in the future.
Yeah, especially if they're going to be doing weird stuff with used games and rentals and DRM and onlines. You know, might as well have a perk to that.
They promised Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3 so far.
Oh boy!
So
if you haven't played those games from several years ago.
And then of course they've got the whole capture gameplay thing.
Oh yeah, Upload Studio, which is and they're partnered with Twitch TV, which is a big deal.
Yeah, that is going to be really
speaking
cool.
of which, they also announced World of Tanks for 360, which is
free to play.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. There you go. It's a whole world of tanks.
Yeah.
If you like tanks, so
if you like tanks, you might like the Xbox. And the other sort of small announcement that they made that we already knew was happening was the conversion of Microsoft points to real money, which is something that has needed to happen for a while now.
And then of course there's the price point.
Yeah.
Which is a bit hard pill to swallow.
It's a hard pill to swallow. You have to accept that there's going to be a Connect with it, so that sort of justifies the price unless you don't want to connect.
Or 500 euros.
Yeah, $500, 500 euros, or 429 pounds.
Yeah. It's an expensive box no matter where you live.
Yeah, it is. So those are really all the major points of Microsoft's press conference.
They showed The Witcher 3, and there's mermaids in it.
Confirmed.
Yeah, mermaids. And
mermaid witches.
They're not wearing a lot.
They're not witches.
No.
They're not witches. What do you guys like about the press conference? Are you impressed? Are you sad? Let us know in the comments. And of course, we're going to have tons more videos today. There's 3 more press conferences to go, so make sure you're tuned here to Red 3 Games.
And hop in the comments afterwards. We'll try and jump in and talk some trash.
Yeah.
But it's E3. It's here. It's happening. Let's have fun. This E3 coverage is brought to you in part by Netflix. Yeah, you know, Netflix, the wonderful service that lets you stream unlimited TV and movies directly to current and next-gen consoles, handheld smartphones, and tablets, and just about anything with an internet connection. Netflix, which happens to be the only place to catch the new season of Arrested Development. Well, if for some reason you haven't already signed up for Netflix, by all means, head over to netflix.com/revision3 and sign up for a free trial membership today.